They can be seen everywhere, on park benches, abandoned buildings, in the streets, and being it's 3.5 million of them, it's no surprise. Yes, I'm referring to our homeless individuals. We have all voiced our opinions in regards to this matter in the past, and we continue today to voice those same opinions. Many of us ignore them. We act as if they are not even there. We tend to walk past them as if they're invisible, hoping this will go away. Okay, let's be real. This issue will not go away no time soon. Homelessness is a major problem here in the United States. The twisted views of the public in regards to the causes and effects has led to the dehumanization and overlooking the needs of the homeless. Hello, my name is Joyce Harris. Today, I will discuss the causes and effects of homelessness in the U.S. What is homelessness? Well, according to the U.S. government, being homeless is considered to be an individual who is suffering from instability and financial instability. This brings us to causes of homelessness. Poverty. This is considered the number one cause or the longest contribution of homelessness. Poverty is considered the part and parcel of every society. To be poor means to lack the basic necessities. It is estimated that in 2009, 11.3% of the U.S. population lived below the lines of poverty. Of those numbers, children rank the highest as homeless. When dealing with such issues, it is important to think about the lack of affordable housing. With the rising cost of housing and the increasing gap between wage earnings, the cost of housing in the U.S. leaves millions of families and individuals incapable of making ends meet. Another factor, political factors. With cuts in the federal assistance for housing and social services, there has been an increase in homelessness here in the U.S. During the 50s and the 60s, federal housing programs nearly eliminated homelessness. But during the 80s, housing programs were slashed by half and homeless populations began to grow. In 1966, programs like temporary assistance for needy families faced many changes and cuts that made it difficult or impossible for people to access services. The majority of these people consisted of single mothers. The public services given to them were not enough to support their families. Many lower income people had to choose between food, medical care, and housing to make ends meet. 20% of those families have no options but to become homeless. Natural disasters is another cause. This natural disaster causes the greatest loss to many people. It can even cost them their lives. Those who remain homeless in the aftermath of the disaster ends up in unsafe places. Even though poverty is the leading cause of homelessness, long-term causes such as mental illness, drug abuse, alcoholism can intensify situations such as poverty and put individuals at greater risk of becoming homeless. Surveys for those individuals facing homelessness show that about 25% of homeless populations suffer from some form of mental illness. With the overwhelming cost of health insurance, leaves homeless people without proper care to treat mental illness. Drugs and alcohol addiction affects about 20% of the homeless population who lack access to proper affordable care for these illnesses or addictions. According to the National Coalition for the Homeless, the increase of homeless people for the past 2 decades cannot be explained by addiction alone. This brings us to the sad effects of homelessness. According to Mark Hewitt, director of Love and Care Ministries, explains, I think lots of people think homeless people are nothing. They are feeble, or they are not at all there mentally. I have personally seen people frown upon the homeless. They ignore them and they think the worst of homeless individuals. There are many other effects of homelessness or individuals. Healthcare. Homeless people often encounter a lot of health issues in their lives. The health gets worse from time to time because they lack the necessary medical attention. Because they lack the necessities, they also suffer from multiple diseases such as cold injury, cardiac respiratory, TB or tuberculosis, skin diseases, HIV and AIDS, drug dependency, and so on. Attacks for many homeless individuals have been at the highest level in almost a decade. It was reported by the National Coalition for the Homeless there has been 600 attacks on the homeless. 20 other attacks has ended in death due to brutal beatings and mutilations. Homeless individuals find it very difficult to consider the fact they will not have a roof above their heads. They soon suffer from psychological issues such as low self-esteem, becoming institutionalized, increase in substance misuse, developing behavioral problems. This is just a few. It is evident to see that the cause of homelessness are due to unexpected and unpreventable circumstances. The majority of the people experiencing homelessness today are everyday individuals, such as ourselves, who unfortunately fell into a bad situation. It is also evident that these situations of dealings with abuse are not acceptable. As we know, our actions are derived by our attitudes. And many people's attitudes are so appalling. There is abuse rather than compassion. There is beating rather than sympathy. Eye contact is avoided instead of addressing the issues with action. Does a change need to take place? Who's going to change? Change begins with ourselves.